Maiala, o ike ia, ke kupa'a, o ke poe kanaka, na oiwi o ke aina nei, a ohe kanaka, nana e ha'i a kako, ka poe oiwi, e ha mau leo, umia kahani. Think about slave. In order to enslave a people, I gotta treat them and think of them as heathens, as less than backwards people. It means they gotta be like wild people, not even human. They don't even have the ability to have high math. I gotta treat them this particular way. That's the justification. That's what he called this. The justification of why. And so that is the story. You see, again, that is the story. If I can tell the story in that way, it justifies. Remember, I kept on saying it empowers and disempowers. There's a purpose to telling the story. Hard to enslave a people. We thought, yeah, you know what these guys did? They developed algebra. They developed the pyramids. I mean, hard to say those guys are backwards now. You see, so that's why the storytelling is so important in how you capture, how you tell a story. That's the politics. The politics is how you name and how you define. Yeah, history is something, as people always say, history is more about today and the future than the past. So we think of history as being about, oh, history is about today. We always reinterpret history for today. We always fight over the facts of history because it's about today, not about the past. Yeah.
You see, but it's, again, how you play this game of what counts and what doesn't count. Somebody wants to say, well, my history counts, not yours.
Somebody wants to say, well, my account of what happened, it's important you understand discovery because this is part of the American, the American ideas. Yeah, I understand that. But I know there's nothing factually true about this. When I show up to court this time, the prosecutors do not provide a translator. And they tell me, and from now on, you got to do the case in English. Of course, what is my response?
How would you guys? Screw you guys. I'm going to keep on talking Hawaii.
Who the hell are you guys for tell me? I know the history. I know this place. I know Second Circuit. I know Andami. And I know they don't know. That's part of the issue. And so they make an actual motion. And this is December 27th, 2017. We actually have a motion being heard in front of Judge Kobayashi. This is where he makes the mistake. I don't know why. The prosecutors make the motion. The young Hawaiian woman makes the motion, reads her argument. I don't have a translator. I refute. Yeah, I fight against the motion. I speak for about 15 minutes in Hawaiian to the judge, arguing against the motion. No translator provided, so obviously 15 minutes of my talk, it had nothing to do with the judge's decision. The judge allows it to occur, and then I was surprised. I was thinking, there's no way the judge can be that dumb. And the judge goes, he grants
the motion
for the prosecution. And let me just add another thing. So I was angry at first, very angry, when I was going to argue against this motion. And I was kind of angry at the young Hawaiian woman, Hawaiian prosecutor. Right? I think, yeah, what's up with this girl, man? While I'm arguing my motion, I look over, and I'm kind of was going to talk stink about her, I guess, call it, a little bit of a. But when I look over her, I see she's crying. She's crying the whole time when I'm speaking. Why? Well, she knew she was wrong. And not just that, but I knew it wasn't her. She was just a pawn. This is coming from the top. And that got me angry. I said, how dare they make this girl feel like this? She knows this is a bad idea. And they did that to her. And I was shocked when Kobayashi said, yep, bang. And I walked out and I spoke to the prosecutors, and two of them now. And I said,
you know this is going to come out good for you guys. You know I'm going to keep on speaking. I said, and I told him straight, if you think you're going to put me in jail for speaking Hawaiian, and you guys are crazy in 2018.
The community will not take it. And that's kind of what happened, of course. So when I show up to court on January 24th, this last week, that was really more surprising. I had to defend myself without a translator. So we weren't really sure what was going to happen. I was going to speak in Hawaiian, would the judge just kind of ignore me for 15 minutes and, or was he just going to stop me from the beginning? But what I saw what happened was, just from the very beginning when he was asking me, to identify myself, and I stood up and I
said in Hawaiian, Eia no wau, ke kune I mo'o, which in Hawaiian is basically saying, here I am, judge, standing right in front of you.
Yes, here I am, and I said it 3 times when he called my name. After the third, and what's weird about it, he kept on saying, Mr. Ka'eo. He kept on calling me Mr. Ka'eo. Now, I've been in front of the judge at least 15 times before. Said nothing about the judge couldn't really tell that wasn't me. Mind you that the bailiff is my high school classmate. The court reporter is my aunt. I know the police and everybody in there. And then the judge kind of played this kind of weird idea that he wasn't really sure that was me or not.
Well, you kind of blend in.
Yeah, and then he asked the bailiff to go outside and call my name 3 times, which was a whole other. So people are kind of, what the hell's going on? The bailiff walks up, and again, my classmate walks outside. I hear going,
Samuel Ka'eo! Said 3 times. Comes back in, no response. And the judge goes, Mr. Ka'eo is in here, a warrant for his arrest.
I'm seeing right in front of him like this, warrant for his arrest. But the point is, the main thing out of this is first to understand why is that such an issue. And of course, the 2 main ideas is that one is that by not speaking English, one argument is that I'm being disrespectful to the court. Respectful. So one idea, of course, is that I must speak English to show respect to the court. That's what one argument has always been. Yeah. My contention is that there is no law. I don't even care about the Constitution, Hawaii State Constitution, which, by the way, of course, also recognizes that we have
2 official languages, English and Hawaiian.
just like it was in the Hawaiian Kingdom days. Okay. This wasn't something new, that's the point. But it was clear that the whole issue really had to do with what is not the value of Hawaii, but what is the life of Hawaiian language, maybe to me. That's what I kind of look at it. You know, is it something that's just like a decoration? Or is the language real?
You know, are we as Hawaiians like decorations? Like the aloha spirit kind of Hawaiian? That's the ones they like, and they're happy with those Hawaiians?
Or when Hawaiians start to speak for themselves, you know, through our own language, you know, that's really to me what the heart of the matter was. And like the language, that's why I say it's not just the language. Even my arguments on the first time were just totally ignored. And so what you had, a lot of people who came up with the same ideas that I had said, would say, you know, we as Hawaiians are very invisible. You know, we are here, but we are treated as invisible people within our own lands. You know, whether it's our language, whether it's our cultural views. I mean, even questions over title of land. Yeah, and I know you guys are going to get into this later on, but even things like history and title of land. So you have one people, they're still pushing this kind of Hawaii history, you see. Same kind of stuff. They like the fake plastic history. The aloha spirit history. Well, I guess there are many, but I guess the most important moment for me was when I exited, actually after when I exited the courtroom, just to kind of guess, you understand that particular event of resisting what the judge was trying to impose on me, this kind of way of seeing myself, kind of dehumanization process, was rejected. When I stepped outside and I was able to, you know, from kupuna, makua, parents, children, and all the school children that were out there that day, singing along in resistance on the outside, really showcased that, you know, it's not just about myself. What we're trying to do and accomplish today is really about the future generations, that the future generations will not have to deal with the same kinds of questions of being dehumanized. That the day will come, in fact, when Hawaiians can be as Hawaiian as they wish to be. The Hawaiians will have a right to exist in Hawaii in a way which is most meaningful for our people. And, you know, language is a huge part of that. And I guess when stepping out of the courtroom is to see, again, I don't want to say the support of me, because it really wasn't a support of me as much as it was a unifying moment for our people in understanding that we will exist, we will continue on. That even if the judge is going to impose, at that time, you know, there was a warrant out for my arrest, it had no effect in regards to where we need to go as a people. In fact, I think what it did was it really inspired and empowered our people to realize that we're going to have to pay more attention and be more purposeful in organizing ourselves to create this future that we need to have for our people. And I think by having the children there again, it's like it's alive. The history is alive. The kids are part of it. They're part of this rebirth in a sense. You know, the idea, of course, you know, with every birth there's always pain. And so the rebirth of our language that's occurring right now through our kids, you know, is going through some painful periods.
But you can already see, you can envision the future, what it's going to be like in 20, 30, 40 years from now. That we're going to be a lot more stronger, a lot more powerful, that our voices actually going to be heard. And so, that's really my hope, most important thing.